Chief Maror Officer. Yeah, I'm the CMO. Yeah.
I thought that actually.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you asked me to do this because it's my profession. Love Maror.
I should have known ahead of time.
Yeah.
Are there other people like you in the world that I should have contacted?
No, I'm the only one.
So good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. So this is Charlie Schwartz. He's a rabbi here at Lehrhaus in Somerville. This is an amazing institution. I've gotten to eat here a couple of times. It's been written up in Esquire.
I'm the co-founder and director of Lehrhaus. So co-founded it's the world's first Jewish tavern and house of learning. Co-founded it with my good friend Josh Warr, and then I run the whole thing. So I oversee both the tavern operations and the house of learning operations.
Should we start with like a milder maror?
Yeah, I think it's start low then go high, right?
You want to go with the romaine?
Yeah.
You can go ahead and choose your maror, your romaine piece. Take as much or as little as you like. Okay, I'm going to get the leaf part here.
All right.
You ready?
Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam borei pri ha'adama.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri ha'adam.
It's like refreshing. Well, we're not really bitter, you know.
This is it tastes like a nice salad.
It's like an all day. I just like Is Mara or Karpats? I don't know.
Here's our first question. What is your favorite Passover adjacent fun fact or joke?
One of the more interesting kind of Passover things that I did. Can that fill it? Yeah. I served for a while in the Israeli army, and I remember when we were in basic training, it fell on Passover. And before Passover, they had what was called a mizar chametz. I don't know if they still do this, but they definitely did it when I was in the army. And the whole base kind of like went out into this kind of central area and emptied out all of their belongings. So, like we emptied everything out to make sure that there was no chametz. And we did this. I was doing basic training on the same base that an entirely Druze unit, which no longer exists, was doing basic training. So we had all of these Druze soldiers emptying out all of their equipment just to make sure that there was no chametz. But it was like this kind of like weird, crazy moment where everyone on the base, Jews and non-Jews, and there was a lot of non-Jews, went through all of their stuff to find if there was any chametz, any leaven.
Okay, we're up to our second maror.
All right.
This is where it gets a little bit serious because the Talmud says that maror is supposed to be a green leafy vegetable that when you break the stem, milk comes out, like a milky fluid.
Yeah.
So when I think of that, I think of dandelions.
Yeah.
Right. So these are dandelion leaves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can grab one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
That's like, I'm into that.
That's bitter.
I'm into more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really like, it's like an aperitif. Yeah. I just like the flavor. This is like...
So here's question number 2. What Passover theme is speaking to you most clearly right now?
It's less in the Haggadah and more in the actual like story itself. I love that the whole Exodus narrative starts with human action, right? If Shifra and Pua, didn't decide to save the male babies, if Bat Paro didn't save baby Moshe, if Moshe's family of Tzipporah didn't send Moshe out in the basket, like there's all these like acts of heroism, mostly by women, that start the whole Exodus narrative. So while in the Haggadah itself, God is the most present, right, with a strong hand outstretched arm. But if you go to the narrative itself, it's really about the heroism of individuals, and that's speaking to you right now.
So for 3, we're going to let people pick their poison.
Yeah.
This would be, this is Radicchio.
Yeah.
Which is, if you want to show the camera. Yeah.
Yeah, we have an amazing winter salad that's almost all Radicchio here.
The other thing we have is Endive.
Endive, yeah.
Which a lot of people are familiar with because they use them at cocktail parties as little plates,
Yeah. Equals for other things.
Put stuff on it. And the other one, which I happen to think is the most bitter, if you want to try that, you can try it a few, is this is Chicory, which I just bought this morning.
Yeah, good leafy green.
Yeah, have you ever had it?
I think so.
It's also really bitter.
I'm going to do it.
Time.
That's really good.
This chicory is so bitter.
This is a genius move.
It's a good move together. Because the Endive and the Radicchio probably cut that chicory.
Very whole thing. I need for a week preparing for this, just so you know.
Wow. I've kept off of Mara for almost a year. Passover celebrates the birth of our national identity. What core tenets of this story and celebration do you see as continuously central to being Jewish?
Passover happens every year, right? And so every year we're reminded of like that process from slavery to freedom. And I think like for me, that reminder that like that process from slavery, Chicory's got me all gummed up. The process from slavery to freedom, from darkness to light, isn't something that happens once and it's done, but it's something that happens over and over again. So rather than thinking things time and process as linear, sometimes it is linear, but it's also cyclical. So just because we've gone from slavery to freedom once doesn't mean that we can't do it again or in different ways. So the repeating of it for me is like kind of one of the core central traits. As
we mentioned at the beginning, the essential maror that's in the Talmud is some kind of green that goes into your sandwich.
Yeah.
I think what happened at some point is that there was no way to get anything green in Europe in this time of year, February, March, April. So people moved to the horseradish. Establishing shot. I grated this horseradish this morning before I left home. So this is fresh grated horseradish, and then you have the whole chunk.
Yeah.
And then the uglier sort of root thing. So,
do you need this chunk for later? I'm tempted to take a bite out of it. Is that?
Oh, I don't need it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. Okay. I'm just gonna destroy my body with this.
Okay. So here's the last question.
Okay.
In the context of people putting like an orange on a seder plate, Miriam's cup.
Yeah.
If you could add anything to the seder table, what would it be and why?
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Go. This is so good.
This is like Passover. Oh man. Oh. It just hit. Oh wow. Oh no. Oh my goodness.
You can. I have napkins here if you need to.
All this. Oh man. Oh, Passover hits hard. Wow. That's amazing. Ooh, I'm legitimately crying right now in a way that I'm like, oh wow, this is like maybe this is actually what I need at the seder. It's like, yeah, woo, wow, this is like I should bring this to therapy. This is amazing. That's incredible.
It does.
Have you done that before? I've never done that before.
I have had.
Woo. I'm gonna just do a nibble, see if I can get the same thing.
The experience you just went through, I've definitely had, where I found myself weeping.
Yeah,
as a result of it.
Wow. If I could add one thing to the seder plate, it would be that experience. I'm a traditionalist on these things, and I think keeping the seder plate the way it is, and then adding things with who we are when we come to that table, I think for me is more dynamic. So it's more about who we have around the table. And like having people with diverse ideas and having an avenue like a prompt like the Haggadah to kind of go deep into where we are and how we're feeling. So
yeah, thanks so much for doing this interview. It was really fun.
Yeah. Chief Maror Officer. Yeah, and the CMO. Yeah,
I thought that actually.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you asked me to do this because it's my profession. Love Maror.
I should have known ahead of time.
Wow.
Are there other people like you in the world that I should have contacted?
No, I'm the only one.